Could this be the most brilliant tactical combination? Let me know your thoughts. This is about Donald Byrne and, of course, Bobby Fischer. The game of the century being dubbed. It had been played in 1956. The Bobby Fischer was only 13 years old. And this game is being regarded as the best game that happened in the last century. So game of the century meaning about the 20th century, not the 21st now. But nonetheless, let's revisit the moves because there is like 25 more moves following this very position for black, in which white, Donald Byrne, attacks the black queen. Oh boy. So what do you think the 13-year-old chess master, genius, best chess player in human history? Let me know your thoughts. What do you think he plays here? Well, I'm pretty sure he thought about this. I mean, he didn't just go blindly with the next move. I reckon now many of us would consider desperately to finding ways to saving the queen. You probably might be thinking knight b5, moving queen away and stuff. But not Bobby Fischer here. What do you think he played? Well, he done a tactical brilliancy. He responded here with bishop to e6, move number 17 for black in this Grunfeld defense. He played bishop to e6, noticing that, yes, he is going to lose the queen, but the attack is crushing. And believe it or not, black is actually playing to win with bishop to e6. This is the only good move for black in this very position. There is no other. So Donald Byrne accepted the queen out. Yeah, he thought the 13-year-old boy is not going to do it. He's not going to win in all the intrinsic tacticalities and complexities and the craziness, madness of the tactical position. But bishop takes on c4 with check on the king. And now we're going to see a bunch of discovered windmill checks, one after another, in which Bobby Fischer simply picks up piece after piece after piece. Let's have a look. Knight to e2 checks the king. Well, where do you go? Well, you have to go on f1. When you go on f1, the black knight is going to play, exposing the white king to check coming from the black bishop on c4. So king f1. Knight to d4, check. Where do you go? You can't move the king on the e file because there is a black rook here, cutting off everything. So go back on g1. Where do you go? Knight on e2, again, check, forcing the white king to go to f1. And then again, discovered. But now you go to c3. Why is that? Well, you're actually hitting the rook on d1 with this last discovered check. King goes back. Oh, boy. So before he actually took the knight, there's another move that he considered. That is picking up the bishop on b6 and exposing the white queen on a3 to the black rook's attack. So he took with a on b3. Boom. Queen is being hit, right? Notice there is a bishop defending the knight. So in case you're thinking about taking, it's not going to work because bishop's going to take back. And you're actually having two minor pieces, two rook versus two rooks and a minor piece. And the king that actually completely blocks in the rook on h1. So it's not gonna do it. So he had to move the queen to safety, b4. And now rook to a4 keeps attacking the white queen. So the white queen again being hit, takes on b6. You would say it's quite cool and safe, right? Well, not just yet. Now you take the rook. He took the rook on d1. You know what I meant. So now took h3, trying to create desperately a safe passage for the white king to go away, and eventually maybe the other rook will become a little bit active, and maybe he thought to the concerted effort of rook and queen and knight, maybe he could press forward. But rook takes on a2. Notice now on the second rank there is a little bit of pressure over there. King goes in d to h2, freeing up the rook. Knight takes on f2 though, attacking the rook. Again, black is in advantage. Tactically, positionally, black is just simply crushing it here. But let's just have a look at this gorgeous piece of tactical perfection. Rook to e1. Of course, you want to trade off. You want to make sure that there's not too many pieces for black to attack and creating complications. And maybe he thought that after this trade, after the rook moving up to the first rank, that would be a little bit of vulnerability on the back rank, but not a problem because Fischer dropped the bishop to f8, closing off now the rank, so there is no more back rank checks and threats and stuff. So now knight took, bishop very nicely, hitting on the g2 together with the rook and more power striking is coming. Yes, the bishop is pinned indeed. Now knight plays on f3. He dreams about getting the white knight. Donald Byrne here wanted to get the knight to do some stuff, of course. Knight now moves over to e4. And queen to b, trying to attack it on b7. But after the b5, if you just pause it for a second and look at the black pieces' position, they all defended. Everything is defended by everything else. Every single pawn is defended. Every single piece is defended and active, except this guy on f8. But he will break the pin. Just give it a second or two. h4, I mean, what do you want to play with white anyway? Apart from resigning, what exactly do you want to play? h4, h5, just not allowing any counterplay, any pawn moving down, trying to dismantle anything. Now knight goes over to e5. Obviously, probably he thought about just making some sort of, but that doesn't even work. There is a bishop here. I mean, nothing really works. Actually, it's knight to d7. That was the intent, seemingly, because this guy is pinned and you want to attack together with the queen and the knight. So that was the intent, but king to g7. Therefore, knight on d7 is not going to work now because the bishop is free to go and launching more attacks. King to g1, to no avail. Bishop to c5, checking now the king. And checkmate is coming. It's coming in just about 5 moves right from this very position. Look at the beauty of it. The black rook cuts the second rank. The knight and the bishops will just simply deliver. Knight to g3 check. The king has no other square to go. Everything is covered by the black pieces. More checks and more checks. King goes exactly to where it will be checkmated. Check again. Bishop b3. King goes c1. Check from the knight. Check from the knight now on c3. And you guys probably found it. Rook to c2. Check and mate. So this is move 41. We started with the move number 17, and what a gorgeous piece of tactical combination delivered by the chess genius Bobby Fischer. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you on the next video.